Hey, you know, some of you may already know that I used to work for the movie studios. That's why I have some of this silly stuff back here. And today I'm going to open up, it's a set model that I've had for a really long time. And it's a model from the 2001 Tim Burton movie, Planet of the Apes. And it's a model of the jungle. And I've never really looked in it. It's kind of falling apart a little bit, but today I'm going to look at it. The model was built by the art department during pre-production of the film. You see there it says jungle. Well, it used to say jungle model. Part of it's missing. And it's been filled up with styrofoam and bubble wrap. But they built this so production could use it to figure out where the camera would be on different shots. So this background is the actual walls of the stage that it was built on. And then everything in there is just miniature of what the actual set was. So I'm going to get it down and we're going to actually open it up for the first time. The sharp-eyed among you may have noticed some of the other stuff I have floating around here from the Tim Burton movie. Not everything is, of course, but I have quite a bit of it. Okay, we've got it down here. And I was invited to work on this movie, actually. I had worked with the set decorator once before, Archives, and I worked with her on a movie called Amistad. And then she started doing this one and asked me, but I had already committed to do Scorpion King, I think. Okay, before I dig in too much, let's just have a look here. This wall has fallen off, and it's laying up here. And I'm going to cover the lady's name, but there's an address to where it was supposed to be delivered back in the day from Fox Archives. And let's see what we got here. Okay, it looks like this is some sort of a scale for the stage, but then there is a little human figure. I assume that's to show the scale of this whole thing. So if that's the case, what does that mean? I'm going to have to get a tape measure and see how tall he actually is. Have you ever seen a tape measure? Measure tape? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Yeah. We got looks like he's about an inch and a quarter tall. So inch and a quarter is 6 feet. And let's see. Okay, I don't quite get it because this looks like this is just inches here. So he's an inch and a quarter tall. So I don't really quite get that, but maybe we'll understand better when I open this up and we get a better look at what is going on inside here. The lid has been removed, and it's just all bubble wrap so far. Let me see if I can carefully. I don't want to hurt anything here. Looks pretty delicate. Oh, look at that. A, C, D. I wonder what that means. They have all these trees labeled. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pull off the rest of this bubble wrap. This thing is pretty neat. Oh, I got to get all this styrofoam peanuts out, but it's got a scale down the side here. And look at the backdrop. It's all kind of painted to look like a forest. And it looks if I had to take a guess already, that maybe these represent camera tracks. Maybe they had. I'm going to have to watch the movie. I know it's not a very good movie, but I'm going to have to watch the movie again and see if I can spot where any of this sort of stuff is once we get it completely cleaned out. I think I'm going to go get a shop vac and try to very carefully get some of this styrofoam out of here without sucking any of the actual model out. Okay, it's kind of painstaking. I got the easy stuff out, the stuff that was stacked way up, but the greenery here, it's just beautiful the way it's done, but it's not attached that well. So if I go in here with the vacuum, the greenery vacuums off. I only snagged a couple of pieces, but you can see how this thing is really shaping up to be pretty cool. So I've had to resort to using like chopsticks and picking the stuff out. And I'm still using the vacuum, but I just have it choked down to where it can only really grab one piece at a time. And it's far enough away where I just am kind of chopsticking them up into it. So this is going to take a little while. I did figure out, I think, what this is. This has nothing to do with the size scale. I think this was just used as a grid system. So when they were discussing different areas here on the set, they could say at, location N11, and it would be somewhere right around there where that D is. Okay, so I'm going to keep trying to clean this out. And I did end up working with this decorator again after this on Haunted Mansion. She's really a nice gal. Her name is Rosemary Brandenburg. I'm making some progress, as you can see. And what's interesting is there was a whole section of jungle sitting here on top. And I pulled it out over here. And you can see it's pretty cool. It's broken. There's places like right there where a tree should be glued. And right there, there's something missing. And all this stuff is kind of floating around, but you can see where it could be really something. I mean, that thing, it's just impressive. I mean, anyway, what's really cool about it is that sits in here. So I suspect that means that this set was built two different ways. It means it was first built what I suspect is this way, where once I dig down here, we'll see that this is where they had a body of water. And if that's the case, that means that this is the set where the spaceship crashes into the water and sinks. And then Leo swims out, and then later on, there's a few more scenes where the apes come and look. Anyway, there's quite a bit in the movie that happens in here around this lake, and then apparently they built it to be just solid forest for other shots. So I'm going to continue cleaning out this styrofoam, but this thing is just too cool. All right, I got most of the styrofoam out. There is still a little bit of styrofoam debris, but you can see how amazing this model truly is. A lot of the details have fallen out, and I have them piled up here, but there are rocks with moss on them. There are lots of mossy logs and branches and all of that sort of stuff, and leaves, and then bunch of extra trees here that were all just loose. I didn't remove these. These were just sort of floating around. But there's still some really spectacular stuff in here. I'm going to straighten this thing out a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer, and maybe get it back into the situation that I originally was in, or as close as I can. Look at that. Yeah. Right. We're sinking in. And I haven't fixed anything. This is just how it unpacked.